Hello everybody and welcome back to another video. Now today, as you can probably tell from the title, we're going to be taking one last look at AOL Instant Messenger, which if you're not aware, today, which is December 15th, 2017, is the day that this video is going to be uploaded to the channel, is the last day, or not the last day, but the day that AOL Instant Messenger is going to be totally cut off and put out of service after 20 long years. It might even be a little bit over 20 years. And what I wanted to do today was to kind of go back to this program, do a sort of brief history type thing where I kind of go through and tell you, a little bit about this program and what it meant to a lot of people, which I'm sure most of you guys, if you're watching this, if you're a regular subscriber on this channel, probably know what AIM is. You've probably used it many times in your life. And so there's, this whole program doesn't really need too much introduction, but I thought of, kind of doing it anyway because this is a, pretty significant program. It's definitely changed a lot in the field of instant messaging, and in some people's opinions, it kind of created or it kind of helped to create the instant messaging that we know today and that we take for granted today. So what I have up here is the last post from the VP of Communications Product at Oath, which Oath is the company. It's a subsidiary of Verizon, and it basically oversees AOL now that AOL is owned by Verizon. And he goes through here and he kind of posts, this short little post here basically saying that on December 15th, 2017, they will be killing off and discontinuing AIM. And they kind of say that they're going to be focusing on some other things. And I can see the reason why that they're doing this, because AIM is definitely not as popular now. It's not nearly as popular now as it was in the late 90s, early 2000s. It's kind of when it was, had its most usage, I guess you could say. It's when it's had the most people using it. And so what I wanted to do was to kind of go back. I actually have a Windows 95 virtual machine here. And what I thought we could do is kind of go back. Let me just, make this full screen here. And I have this super old version of AIM, which is, this is AIM 2.1. It was released in 1997. I think, obviously, a couple of months after the first version came out. And I wanted to install this in this virtual machine, see if we could still use it. And I know that we're still going to be able to use it because this is the day before December 14th as I'm making this video, so we're still going to be able to actually log in, but you can see it's almost 7 o'clock p.m. where I am, and I'm not sure. I don't think that AOL has really specified if they're going to be cutting it off at 12 a.m. on December 15th or if it's going to be cut off at some other time. I believe, and actually I don't even know if it says what time zone they're in. I think on this post right here it just says that they're going to be killing off AIM effective December 15th, 2017. So it doesn't say the time that it's going to be killed off. So I thought what we would do is, as I said, go back and take a look at this super old version of AOL Instant Messenger 2.1, which was released in 1997, and see if we can still use it. I don't know if the servers for maybe this older program might have been killed off a long time ago. Maybe they still work. I don't know. And then we're going to be taking a look at AIM as it stands today and why I feel that, a lot of people, most people don't use it. And there's a lot of reasons for that because there's just a lot of better, solutions out there for instant messaging that are a lot more modernized than AOL Instant Messenger is, which I'm going to be, getting into later. So we're going to go ahead and just go through this right here. And we're going to be saying, now see, this is how old that this is it's going to ask you, because most people in the early 90s, not early 90s, late 90s, early 2000s, that time frame, the majority of the population used dial-up. Eventually DSL and that did get popular, but it was way more expensive than dial-up was around the time when AOL was very popular. So This is why that it, specifically asks you here, what do you use on the internet? Do you use a modem, or are you permanently connected through a local area network? So we're going to do that. You can see how fast that it just installed. It was so fast because I believe, well, this is, in a virtual environment. It's not on an SSD though. It's on just a 7200 RPM hard drive. But we're going to click OK and start AOL Instant Messenger. I do have an AOL account. I don't know if I'm still going to be able to log into this with that account. So I don't know if can I use an existing screen name? Okay, so it's just going to bring up a screen name service here, which, yeah, it's just going to permanently redirect you to, go to this page. And this is the page that you would see today if you wanted to, create an AOL account. So we're going to just get out of that because I don't really want to create another AOL account. And so I have to apologize for this because the mouse cursor in this VM, for whatever reason, I don't know what it is with Windows 95, but it likes to just sporadically move around. I think something with the mouse acceleration is off, but I mean, you can see I'm trying to go up to click the X and it keeps going all over the place. So I wonder if we can sign in. We'll just do register new screen name. Now it's going to bring up the same thing. New user, sign on, use AOL screen name. It brings up the same thing. So I don't even know, maybe we can't even log into it. Can we do setup? Okay, that is the, all of these connection settings here. The only thing is, well, if it doesn't find a connection, then it's most likely that this, this program, this individual version, because it's so old. And that might be what the case is, because you can see here that it's having trouble logging in. It's not doing anything. It's just kind of changing what port that it's listening on, but it's not really getting anywhere. But one thing that I did want to do is I kind of wanted to mention, I'm sure that most people really already know this, but I thought, just for this video I might go and try to, explain it a little bit better for the people who don't. But I kind of wanted to talk about why AIM was so popular compared to other services like MSN Messenger and Yahoo Messenger. And really, the only reason for that is because of how popular that AOL was in the late 90s and early 2000s. It was definitely more popular than most other dial-up services out there. It was the most used, and because of that, most people just found it easier to use AIM, rather than having to go download which of course MSN Messenger didn't even get started till 99, which was 2 years after AIM came out. Because AIM came out in 97, so yeah, most people just started using AIM because it was already integrated with the service provider they were already using at the time. So that was definitely, I mean, that's probably really the only reason why AIM had such a big user base, because so many people used it, or sorry, so many people used AOL, that it was just and it was just more convenient to use AIM. Now, AIM really started, I mean, what instant messaging is today. It kind of started instant messaging in the form that we know it today, which is instant communication between two or more people through a computer or, a phone or a tablet today. AIM really started a lot of the concepts that we know, and companies like Microsoft and Yahoo saw a lot of potential in this, in this sort of industry at the time. That they went ahead and they wanted to get in on it as well. So you had Microsoft creating MSN Messenger in 1999. Yahoo came around at some point and created Yahoo Messenger. And I did a sort of brief history, or a retrospective rather, on MSN Messenger on this channel. It's in a more, I would say professionally done style. It's, like a whole scripted video. And I talked about, if you watched that video, you can see that we're not going to get anywhere with this here. I just think that this service has been shut down. But I talked about in that video, or I mentioned that MSN Messenger was made to be fully compatible with AIM for the first couple of releases that Microsoft did, because they wanted to kind of have this program and they wanted to attract a lot of people from AIM over to their own service, because there was hey, you can communicate not only with people who use our service but also with AOL. AOL didn't like that. They did a bunch of things to try to block communication between AIM and between MSN Messenger. until Microsoft just finally said, okay, you know, we're just not going to bother with that anymore. So to kind of take like a quick break from that, you can see that we're not really going to get anywhere with this old version of AIM. I think it's just straight up frozen right now. So yeah, that's yeah, we're totally like just frozen here. But that's an old version of AIM. That isn't really how I wanted it to end, but yeah, I mean, that's just what we're gonna have to roll with. I'm just gonna go ahead and get out of that. I believe that those older versions, kind of like MSN Messenger, they didn't just phase out MSN Messenger all at the same time. At least I don't think they did. They kind of started with super old versions, so that like, okay, version 1 through 4 couldn't log in when like version 7 or 8 was out. They just kind of stopped support for 1 through 4. So AOL, I assume, kind of did the same thing, because really nobody's using AOL Instant Messenger 2.1 today. So the point that I'm trying to make here, and what I kind of said before, is AOL Instant Messenger, at least in my opinion, and you'll probably find this opinion throughout, you know, like the web, if you were to search for, you know, things like this, because a lot of people believe, myself included, that AOL Instant Messenger really modernized instant messaging. It really created what we know of today as instant messaging, because you had, as I said, a lot of companies that go through and try to do what AOL did, and then you have a lot of services, you know, today. I mean, today, for instant messaging between people, we have Google Hangouts, we have iMessage, we have Skype, we have Discord, and we have all of these services that people would rather use than AOL Instant Messenger. And that's one of the reasons, if not the main reason, why AIM is not popular today really at all. And that's why that they are deciding to go through and kill it off, because it just doesn't have that many users. I mean, they've tried to go through, I can show you here, this is the web interface of AIM. This is what AIM looks like today. I don't even think they have like a client that you can download. It's all just based on the web now. They do have a phone application that you can go in. I mean, you're probably not going to be able to find it now, but they did have a phone application which kind of tried to do what like a regular texting service did, you know, like iMessage or Google Hangouts or Skype or one of those. They, you know, tried to make a phone app which used AIM services. So yeah, this is the whole service here. You know, this is what AIM looks like today. And you can see that, you know, this whole this like account from the AOL system message is just saying that, you know, effective tomorrow, December 15th. I mean, they've like spammed this every time that I log in, because they want to let you know, like, hey, you're not going to be able to use this service anymore. So if you are kind of relying on it for important communications, you're going to have to find something else. So they are, you know, like just basically letting you know that. I think that they announced this in October at some point. Maybe it was November. But yeah, they, you know, announced that they were going to be killing it off, and that's what kind of inspired me to do this short little video. But yeah, that is really all that I have to say for this video. AOL Instant Messenger is, you know, logging out for the last time, as you see many articles on the web talking about it. So it was definitely it definitely had a huge impact on the way that we communicate. That's a, you know, pretty good way to put it. It had a huge impact on the way that we communicate, and it inspired a lot of other services to do the same thing, in some people's opinions, way better than what AIM ever could do. So that's really just going to wrap it up for this video. I hope that you guys enjoyed this little look back at AOL Instant Messenger. Yeah, it was kind of a spur of the moment video, because I kind of wanted to, you know, do this the night before. But yeah, that is really all that I have to say. If you guys enjoyed this video, definitely be sure to give it a thumbs up. Be sure to comment down below, you know, letting me know, you know, what you guys think about this whole kill off. What, you know, you know, remember most about AOL Instant Messenger. We could have, you know, some pretty good conversation going on. And as always, if you want to see more videos like this, definitely be sure to subscribe to the channel, as I will be doing them. And guys, I just want to thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video.